Good evening and welcome to another session of Raj Yoga Center's Climate Series, which is the Climate Wisdom Series, which is a build up to COP28. We are coming to you live from Dubai, and the series name is Care, Share, Inspire. Now, the topic for today is empowering sustainable futures. And today with me is two wonderful people who are coming with a similar background just as me. So I am Piyush Ahuja. I am an entrepreneur by profession, and I have been for a long time in Dubai. I would say almost whole of my life I have been in UAE, and currently I'm based in Dubai from past 30 years. And I'm also an environmentalist. I have been associated with the delegations in the COP. And last year I had the fortune to be in Egypt, and I really was, very intrigued by seeing how the process is going on. And this year it's coming to UAE, which is a big achievement not only for us as a community but as a world, because with the UAE we always look forward to bringing something different and something new, but this time we are going sustainable. So with me today are two sustainable advocates, and I would like to introduce them. First of all is Rishita Sharma
Hi.
and Natesh Iyer.
Hi.
So, to give you a background, I will start with Rishita Sharma. Rishita is a co-founder, Rishita is a founder of Green Utsav and Renter Cutlery. And Natesh Iyer is a co-founder of Parallel Solutions Technology and an ex-founder of BioWare. So, let me start with Rishita. Rishita, tell me more about your journey of how did you get into this sustainability, and really tell me why did you decide to rent a cutlery.
Okay, so it started with Satyamev Jayate. If the Amir Khan, he started this beautiful series, Satyamev Jayate, I think in 2012, right? And he had this episode, The Garbage is Your Responsibility. And they explained the simple methods how you can manage your garbage. So that time I thought, oh, it's so easy to manage our own waste, right? I was in USA that time, and then Universe plant. I was working with IT company. Then we moved to India and Bangalore. So I can see only garbage, garbage, garbage whenever I'm going outside. So this was the turning point from IT to waste management volunteer. So I started with my home, like the zero waste home. So I do composting, I try to do everything, get everything in my own reusable cloth bags or boxes. And then whenever we are going for any awareness session, the people have this question always, like what are the options for, like say, paper cup. There is no other option, right? Because people are not going for the old thing, the tent wala. So we don't need the large innovations. There is no rocket science. We just have to look back how our grandparents used to do, right? So I remember my dadi, she used to get her own cup or lota for weddings and all, right? So because of hygiene issue, because she doesn't like to drink the water from tent wala glasses, so she will get her own glass. So that gave us idea. One of my partner Lakshmi and we started Rent a Cutlery. We just bought a set of 100 reusable steel plates, glass bowl, and so we just thought we will invest this money. Even if it won't work, no worries, right? We can use for our community. But the media and our volunteer groups, they promoted it like anything. So it's still going on, and we have more than 30, 40 cutlery banks only in Bangalore. And then we got because the national media also covered Hindu and everyone. So other part of India like Delhi, Pune, Chennai. So we have cutlery banks everywhere. So this is the journey of Rent a Cutlery. And then again, the parties have so many waste in form of balloons and disposable snack boxes, etc. So I started Green Utsav. In Green Utsav, we organize zero waste parties. So no single use plastic bottle, paper cup, no paper bag. And
So, just to break you, sorry, but what is the meaning of Utsav? Because many of
yeah,
our audience is from different
correct.
parts of the world.
So green, we all know it's related to environment, and Utsav is celebration.
Okay.
So we need to celebrate each day as Earth Day,
Oh, wonderful.
right?
Right. So, you told me you were associated with IT background and you move into the sustainable background. How was it not, I would not say how easy was it. What was the motivating factor other than you mentioned your grandmother, you also mentioned you
Passion.
decided to, it was your passion you were saying. But how was it a mental shift for you to really adapt from an industry which is so fast, and you're talking about 10 to 11 years ago, 2012. It was a growing industry, especially in India. It's the hub when we say of IT, a lot of places. So moving into that hub, how were you motivated to move into something a very slow lifestyle, I would say, which is a sustainable lifestyle? That's how they have termed it, not me, just to be
Correct,
sure.
correct, correct. So in 2013, my daughter, right? So then this was the turning point. Like I wanted a sustainable future, or say a future where she can live within nature, right? Because outside, if we are leaving the home and we are seeing all the garbage. So, and most of the time the garbage, the if you see the 70% of garbage you can easily avoid, right? And it's consuming resources, everything. So there is a funny story. I will I went to ICICI bank, and they said, ma'am, please get some fund for future of your daughter. So I said, first, you are not saving any future for my daughter because you are using paper cups, plastic bottles. First refuse them from your office, then I may come for the whatever it is, right? Then next time when I went there, they got me to their kitchen, and they said, ma'am, see, we have changed to all reusables. So sometime we have to tell the people, right, what is right. So I never hesitate to tell, okay, this is, we can do this, right? Like we can carry on bottle, we can carry on tumbler, and we can refuse. Since 2014, I never purchased any plastic bottle. Even I'm traveling, I find my way to refill it. If you are going airport, you can see there are refill stations, right? The water station, outside washrooms. So everywhere you will get the opportunity to refill your own bottle. So please refuse single-use bottle.
Amazing. So I see, Rishita, your daughter was an inspiration for you to move into
Yes.
this journey. Coming to Natesh Iyer,
Right.
Natesh, you are in co-founder of Parallel Solutions Technology, and I'm sure you will be doing a big projects, big tenders, or I would like to know more. But what made you deviate from this parallelly into bioware or sustainability? What was the shift or need for you to do when you're, I'm sure, very successful? And how long have you been in this country also?
Uh, Thank you, Piyush. I've been living in Dubai for about 20 years now,
Wow.
and I've been running this business for 20 years. It came as a lightning strike that graphic design is one of the most carbon non-neutral industry because we consume a lot of internet electricity and we have a lot of printing projects. So we do large scale printing and large format printing, which I realized is causing a lot of damage to the environment. But businesses don't stop, and businesses have to continue. So one of the ideas that came to me was that why not offset my carbon footprint by doing something which could be more, not, I wouldn't say it is sustainable, but something which is more eco-friendly. You know, we would say that paper is bad, because when you decompose paper, it releases methane, which is one of the reasons why paper is bad. And you have to cut trees to make paper. So it's not sustainable, but it is at least recyclable and decomposable. But then I realized that they make a lot of products out of sugarcane waste, which is bagasse. And that is also made out of stubble, which is burning in India right now in Delhi, which is causing a lot of fumes in Delhi, and that is one of the reasons. So all these waste can be reused to make products, which is a single time use product, but it is sustainable because it is anyways going to be burned. So you could reuse it. So that is how you use the sugarcane waste to make and mold it into one-time use products, which is what we were planning to sell. So one of the largest producers are China, Taiwan, so that is where we plan to import a lot of containers. So we got a few containers and we tried to sell it to the market. And that is where I thought I could give back something to the society in terms of awareness.
Okay, so you said you thought.
Yeah.
You know, in Raj Yoga Center, one of the things which we really focus in is our power of thought. We believe the power of thought, the consciousness, the mindset is very important, because in order for us to, I believe, to be sustainable, is to have a healthy mindset. And we believe a power of thought plays a big role in everything you ought to do. So, coming to when you said you thought, how did your thought pattern evolve over this journey when you saw the world suffering, or when you felt that you need to contribute towards the society to give something better? How did that happen? What was the thought process?
I would want to change the question. You know, when you start meditating, when you start practicing meditation or spirituality, one of the aspects which, there are three tenets which actually come to my mind. One is spirituality teaches you accountability, where you are accountable for your own actions and you're accountable for your own decisions that you make. So you automatically become conscious of what choices and decisions you're making. And it tends to become more inclusive. That is, you think about people, you think about families, you think about your environment before you make a decision. And even, I know I come from a very carbon non-neutral industry, which is advertising, but even when clients ask us for samples and other things, we try to use one-sided sheets, because we try to make sure that, and even the clients appreciate, it's not to save cost, but to save the resources that is limited. The second thought that came to my mind when I was practicing spirituality is everything has a shelf life. Power has a shelf life and resources have a shelf life. So we again go back to point one and understand that we are accountable to not finish the resources, which has a shelf life, because things will come to an end. And the third most important thing which hit me is that why I didn't become a big time advocate, because there is something which I have been doing some research and understanding and learning, is that everything is self-reparation. Everything repairs itself. For example, your body, 99% of the diseases repairs itself. Even Earth, if you take it at a macro level, even Earth starts repairing itself. So for example, the COVID-19 that happened, which tried to heal and balance out the environment, happened because the Earth wanted it to happen. There are examples of volcanoes which erupted in Philippines, where it emitted 40 million metric tons of carbon dioxide, but it also released sulfur and ash, which ensured that the entire climate temperature is reduced by 0.5 degrees. So Earth has its own way of repairing itself. But we call it destruction, but it's not destruction. It's what it wants to do to cleanse itself so that it can come back to where it was. There are examples of Arctic ice where there are two types. You must have heard that people were complaining, scientists were telling that ozone layer is depleting. There are two types of ozone. One is the atmospheric ozone and the surface ozone. So it was observed that the surface ozone is basically making the ice melt faster. So Earth would automatically produce iodine to destroy the surface ozone. And it automatically happens. But the atmospheric ozone is important because it protects us from layers of heat. So that was intact. So Earth has a self-reparatory process, which we understand when we get into spirituality. So these are the three tenets that made me more conscious towards the environment. Yeah.
If I take from what Natesh said, Rishita, accountability, consciousness, and I know you're also a meditator. You have mentioned that you meditate for a while every day.
Yeah.
And
40 minutes.
40 minutes, wonderful. Okay, so if he's talking about accountability and consciousness, I want you to enlighten me in the sense of how does your thought process or when you meditate, how do you believe you're able to contribute towards the environment? I mean, is there a correlation?
Yeah, there is a correlation, because when you are conscious, like even when you are doing a meditation, or you are more focused, you are more, like he said, like you will care more about your environment, your family, right, your next generation. So there are always two voices inside, right? It's a In Gita also they say, so there are two voices always, like either I can do this, either I can do this, right? Either I can go for shopping with my own cloth bag, either if I'm ignorant, if I'm now not paying attention what's going on around me, then I will just go for shopping and I will shop anything and plastic bag. One banana in one plastic bag, one capsicum in one plastic bag, right? But if I am conscious enough, if I am eco-conscious, then I will make sure that I am getting my own bag, right? So there is because I have seen when I am doing meditation, I have more ideas how I can reduce trash from my home, what I can do for this world to make better. And I get ideas, right? So one day I will tell you that I was doing meditation, and Ganesha Utsav was going on, right? So I just got this idea that, oh my God, there is so much flower waste, because in India, what we do, the circularity, or you say the sustainability, it's the core of Indian culture, right? What we do with flowers, puja flowers, we just put it under tree or soil or in a river, right? Correct.
The flowers you mean which
The
you offer for the puja?
puja, correct? It should never go to trash in India.
But I'm not sure many of us think about that, because once the puja is over, I'm saying, well, if I have to be guilty on the stage, I will be. Many of times I have disposed them off in the trash
Okay, so in
because
India,
they die off, right? I mean,
no. But now what? Uh, that was the process. We are disposing them in like trees, under trees. I'm from MP, so this is the practice. I'm from Brahmin family also. So the puja waste, it should not touch the anyone's, like you can't put the food on the way, even if it's a puja waste. So they used to tell me that you have to go and put these flowers on the tree, right? So see the beautiful process. When you put the flowers in the soil of tree, after some time, it will be back to soil. You are giving back to nature,
okay.
right? Now what we are doing, we are putting them in a plastic bag and they are suffocating. They are releasing methane gas, right? They are not getting, they are mixing with the plastic and releasing chemicals. So this is the problem. when our grandparents were there, there was a open waste management, right? There was no solid waste management problem because animals used to eat whatever the leftover is there. They used to put all the food waste in soil and then they will grow the food. Have you seen? Like, I have seen this in my childhood, like all the guava trees and everything, right? Now our kids will not see. So we have to give it back. The circular economy. Right now we are taking from earth, we are making something beautiful and we are trashing, right? It's not going back to nature. So we have to go back this culture like take, make and waste. Okay, because the earth is generating for everyone's needs, but we are consuming a lot. We are consuming more than uh, one and half earth. Okay, we are consuming this much resources. So by if we are growing with this consumption and population is increasing, by 2030 we need two earth to survive. For so it's not need, we are going towards greed, right? So we need to come back, we need to stop and think that we have to go back. Anything you are doing, you need to think twice. If you can't reuse this, then refuse, right? That plastic straw, if you are going to restaurant, you can easily ask them not to give any straw. Do we need a straw for orange juice? I don't think so, right? These are small steps we can take.
You were telling me about the flowers something, and you were saying to me that there is something which we can do with it.
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
what do you guys do?
Oh yeah, yeah. So what we did, then the thought came, and I told one of my close friends, Pujita, let's do this. We will ask our community to donate their flowers.
Okay.
Okay, from Ganpati celebration. So because we do composting at home, we have many friends who are doing the composting. So we take the flowers from them. We some good flowers we dry and we make something like holy powder or some diya we made, and rest which is not getting dried or they are spoiled, then we do the composting. Composting is a simple method. Okay, so if we
Is that a pot you
yeah,
bought here?
it's a pot.
Interesting.
I just got some flowers which I got yesterday because this campaign started in Ganesha, but people loved it. They are giving us, they wanted someone take care of their holy flowers, right?
Is this happening in UAE also? Sorry to break
This
you,
is
but
in UAE only.
oh wow, I thought okay.
Yeah. So what we are doing, all these flowers, they are giving us. Okay. So again, they are keeping them in plastic bag. When we get them home after 2 or 3 days, I will show you some picture. There are, they are very bad. And when they are keeping in newspaper or paper bag, see the condition after 7 days, right? So everyone needs air,
So
right?
you are saying newspaper is better to keep the flowers
Yeah,
for the
yeah, yeah.
longevity of it.
Correct, correct.
Okay.
So you just have to take some soil because everyone has garden here, right? The pots, plants. So take any soil and just put these flowers and soil. That's it. You don't have to do anything.
All
After
right.
some time, it will go back. Actually,
And then what happens
this
to
is
this?
Ganesha compost.
No, so what happens to this when you put it in the soil? After,
Yes.
like, do you keep watering it?
No need to water because if they are fresh flowers, they will release their own water. The same process we follow for our kitchen waste composting. Okay, you can add some dry leaves also. Yes, if you are just they are very dry and you are adding dry leaves, then you need to put some water because composting, aerobic composting needs moisture, air, and nitrogen. Nitrogen they get from kitchen waste, and carbon they get from dry leaves or cocoa peat.
Well, I'm asking you these questions because many of us, the viewers, are, either we know what is composting, either we don't know what is composting, or either we are lazy to do composting. So I'm saying, is this a very simple process which we can do it at home?
Yeah, this is very simple process. You don't have to do anything. Just put some flowers and put soil. Cover it with soil. Just forget
Natesh, do you do any
after.
composting yourself?
My mother-in-law and Deepa does
No,
it.
do
Yeah.
you do it?
Yeah, I do it at home
Okay,
because
so
we just put all the orange waste,
Peels.
orange peels and banana skins and everything in water. Then we remove it and put the water for the plants, and it all remains green because the vitamins is taken in by the plants. So
so guys, this is compost made up of Ganesha flowers. So you can see,
Wonderful.
right? And they have so earthy smell also. Compost.
So, if I'm trying to understand that in UAE also, sustainability at homes is not a very complicated process. Something very simple process you both are teaching me and to our audience. So, if I have to ask you a question, Natesh, is that you are saying that you're following these sustainable practices at home. How motivated, again, my question comes back to the same processes, because are you following it individually? Are you following it within your family? Are you following it as a community? How does so if I have to say something, like if I find something nice, I would tell it to two or three people. If I found a sale happening somewhere, I would go and tell, hey, listen, there is a sale happening here, you should go and check it out. Even if you don't like it, you should just try it out. That place might be good for you. People do follow it. It's how I have been able to impact the people around me, how convincing I am. So I'm asking you this question now, is that when you are following this sustainability, are you following it individually again? Are you following it as a family? Or are you able to inspire the community around you?
okay, see, by nature I'm capitalist because I am a businessman. So I personally feel that anything which gives people a monetary benefit, it it builds sustainability automatically. And that's from a capitalist kind of an attitude. And my wife, usually women, they do it altruistically. They just feel that they have to do it because they want to give it back. But men are more logical, and they act busy or they try to get busy. So I would be very honest that I do it because I follow a ritual that my wife and my family have set. That this is what you have to do with this waste. Put it in this basket of water and just and then we will take care of it. So yes, I do it as a ritual because I follow the practices that have been set. But I follow those practices instead of overlooking them. That is one of the things that I do. And a few other things that I do consciously is I don't buy clothes at random. I just buy clothes if I can give two clothes back to people. And I just buy it as a replacement policy. So those things I do consciously, but mostly these kind of composting and other things, I am not generally aware that I can do this. But yeah.
So we are at climate wisdom, and I'm trying to get as much as wisdom from you too, so that our audience can realize that being sustainable is not so complicated. You said that in your family, two individuals support you
Yes.
and guide you.
Yes.
In the same way, Rishita, you are contributing with your team towards building a community which is sustainable. What would you say, or add on to what Natesh added with conscious buying? What is your take on conscious buying? Because in UAE, I have faced this challenge. Every other day, I find some or the other offers coming in. Um, Nowadays, there is a Black Friday sale happening. Even if I don't want to buy something, I am inclined to see what is it, and I might end up buying it. Um, it's not only UAE I'm talking about; it's all over the
It's
world.
all over the
There is
world.
a lot of marketing, media, and the reach is so fast that as a consumer, we feel that we need this, we need that, just because we are seeing it in front of ourselves. The ad is coming, or there is a the brochures are there, or there are some pamphlets given for some sales. So how can I change my mindset to be a conscious buyer?
Okay, so this is it's a nice question, and like he said, so uh, like from since 2014, I didn't purchase plastic bottle like this. I never do online shopping. So I try to encourage people that when you go for online shopping, you are wasting money also, right? You don't want to buy, like you said, you 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 want something else and you are buying something else, right? Even 4 or 5 items, you are just adding in your cart. Okay, so I try to promote. For me, everything should be local. So I walk and I take my groceries. Everything I try to, that's why most of the thing in my home you will not find, because I have to get them online. Okay, and like this I make my own cleaner. Okay, the mopping, for washing, everything. So we make sure we are conscious enough that the chemicals which we are using, which I really promote in my community, the chemicals which we are using like harpic, or I don't even know the names of chemicals now, they are going to groundwater. First they are harming our health. Okay, and the second thing, they are going to groundwater and they are harming, they are making the good water bad, because there are two types of bacteria. One is good for our health and the other one is bad, right? So they produce bad bacteria. And when we use the bioenzyme, the orange peels, we make this cleaner with orange peels. The 1 is to 3 is to 10. Take 1 part of orange peels, take 3 part of jaggery and 10 parts of water. Keep them in bottle, okay? And then after 3 months, you will get your own cleaner. Okay, but now coming to community. So this Diwali, what we did, we promoted not to sell but swipe.
Not to
Okay,
sell, but swipe.
let's swipe, not not shop. Okay, so what we did, even in Dubai, in our community, we just asked everyone to get some the beautiful cloth which you have it for like for long time, but it's just sitting in your cupboard, right?
Okay.
So people got their jewelry and cloths and we exchanged. And my daughter, she got some cloth, and for Diwali she had that only. So we didn't buy any cloth. And just now, last week, one report generated that this time, in Diwali, the sale was cloth was getting down. We were so happy because this campaign, it's running in Bangalore also. All the NGOs, all the volunteer groups, we ran this campaign. So, so this kind of, we need to work in communities. We can make a change. In Dubai, in Greens community, in my community, first I started when I came here. If I am going for any event, so I will just take my own plate because I know everyone using disposable. So first time they saw, second time, third time, from next time they started keeping reusables because they have it at home, right? They can borrow from friends. So I'm proud of, I'm living in a Greens community and people are so supportive. So we are making these kind of changes in community. So we share, we love each other and we care for each other.
Natesh, you have been for a long time in UAE, you mentioned.
Yes.
And I would like to ask you this question is like, where have you seen us? When I say us, I'm also part of UAE from a long time. Where have you seen us improve as a community or as a country from being a desert to where today we are? What is your take on that, and what's your view on how we have grown as UAE?
UAE has grown in a very inclusive fashion, and the leadership and the accountability that UAE has towards a community of countries is quite commendable. And we live in a very inclusive way. And the way the infrastructure has been built, I don't think we would have, even with so much of cars, I don't think we would have the same equivalent carbon emission that we have in Bangalore, for example, because of the traffic. The vision and the leadership is quite commendable because the commuting is fast. On top of that, they have built metros. On top of that, they have now coming up with Etihad Rail, which is connecting countries. It is quite commendable with, how they are reducing speed, they are improving lives, and they are making it a very sustainable city for us to live in.
That's so good. I mean, to know your view on that. Personally, for me also, I have been seeing UAE from, as I mentioned, almost 30 years. And, one of the things which I started following was AQI, the Air Quality Index, a couple of years ago, especially during the COVID. I have seen our AQI is consistently the same when I compare it with other parts of the world. So that is one thing which I feel that we are blessed to be in this country because, as Natesh mentioned, and as you might have seen yourself, Rishita, you have been 2 years here, that there's a lot of development, there's a lot of infrastructure growth, but still the air quality is well managed. And it's not only one part of UAE, we are talking about all the 7 Emirates. So, Rishita, comparing your journey, keeping it very essentially, what would you feel that the UAE needs to do furthermore to grow as a more sustainable community? What would you add that you want to see from this community?
It's a not easy question because this is the country of luxury, right? So, if you see in developing countries like India, still people think twice for buying anything or for, right? But when I moved here, I'm seeing like there is everything is so easily available. But I love the government is taking so many actions. That is commendable because, like for hotels, also they started giving this certificate, Dubai stamp, sustainability stamp. So they are doing, and government, when they are making policies, people are following it, right? Unlike India, right? Many policies, we have many policies, but there is more corruption. So I feel here the leadership, like policymakers, they are paying more attention on how to reduce and what they can do better, right? So I'm new to Dubai and UAE, but yeah, it's a quite beautiful journey. Let's see how it goes.
Okay, that's amazing. Listening to both Natesh and Rishita, thank you for being with us on Raj Yoga Center Climate Wisdom Series. Um, I would just take a summary from what both of my friends, I would call them here, are sharing because we are coming from the similar backgrounds of entrepreneurship to also being advocates. I like what Natesh added was we are accountable for our the way we live, our actions, and even our thoughts. And what Rishita added on was that being sustainable is not so complicated. There are simple steps which she's showing, and as a community, as UAE, we need to support our leadership, and we have to be really grateful that we are in a country which is a bit of luxury, and yet also we have a safe and a peaceful, coherent society. But also we need to be more careful that we are able to contribute better towards the environment. So it's all individual efforts that's required from all of us, and it doesn't happen with being pushed, but it comes from your own mindset. So to
Can I
and
add one point?
yes, please, Rishita.
Yeah, so if you have seen, there is refill stations, water stations in many places.
Yes.
That was a great move here, right? So in Expo also they had many refill stations. If if you have your own bottle, you can refill them everywhere because you are not using half-liter water. Okay, one plastic bottle takes more than 3 liters of water in making, and so much carbon footprint, transport, everything, right? And natural resources are involved. So when you are refusing one spoon or one straw and one plastic bottle, you are saving so many resources. So please, the things you can't reuse, just refuse. It's easy.
I would just like to say that we follow in Raj Yoga Center one change initiative where we believe you can make a one small change monthly. I would not say daily or weekly. One change a month
Wow.
in your habits, and just moving from a tissue to a hanky, from a plastic bottle to a reusable bottle, and from a double side sheet to one side sheet, as Natesh mentioned. It's just simple habits which you guys can adopt. And I'm learning. We all three are
We all are
learning every
learning.
day. And I believe we all together as a community can learn and improve and support our country, which is UAE, and also back homes, wherever you're from. To summarize, I would like to, as we three are meditators, I would like us to create some thoughts, and I would request your support with me in this. Is that we will do a quick 2 minutes guided thought process of meditation, where we are going to send some beautiful vibrations towards our world or the universe. And so I would like all of you to just follow some words which I'm sharing, which I have received from my superiors. So I would just share the same in a form of a commentary, if I would have to say. So wherever you are, just sit back and relax. If you are comfortable, you can keep your eyes open. If not, you can keep your eyes closed. And just take a deep breath in, breathe out. Again, breathe in, breathe out. We all know that there is a change happening in the world around us. A change is coming within me, within my society, and the environment around me. And it is my role as an individual to create a better habit, a better mindset, but most importantly, the right thoughts, because it all begins from your internal thought process. The seed of the change is individually me. And so I visualize a world now in front of my eyes, that is so clean and pure. A world which has the most purest air, cleanest water, and lush green forests. And to make this world a reality, I am walking in this journey by being an example, by being the seed that is ready to bring a change. I visualize myself like a small root that is coming from underground, and I am ready now with my positive thinking, with my right actions, and my right intentions. Thank you to everyone, and I would just like to end with a quote from our Raj Yoga Center. And if you visit our website, you would find that quote: "When I change, the world changes." And I had two amazing change advocates Rishita, thank you for joining us again. Natesh, thank you
you.
for joining.
Thank you.
Keep connected with us on the Climate Wisdom series. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Good evening.
Good
Thank you.
evening.